So the next bit we are covering is on really about connecting to our solar plexus and really tuning into whether or not we believe the messages of what we've heard. I mean, if we've got the message coming through us and we're the custodian of it and it's come to our door and it's wanting to be said and we're writing it, it's about whether or not we feel comfortable with it, whether we're really owning it, whether we really buy into it, whether we really believe it, whether we want to tell anybody, whether we feel comfortable sharing it, how much of ourselves we would be willing to put on the line to share it, whether we go to jail for it, whether we die for it. I mean, this is, I know, I'm taking it there because this has happened over history. You know, I mean, people have been put, you know, into Nelson Mandela went to jail for 37 years for what he said. I think there was a few lines in an interview. If he'd written it, you know, probably would have achieved the same result there. So, you know, it's one of those things where if we're talking about letting go and if we're talking about stepping into our purpose, which is solar plexus, it's about the degrees of how comfortable we are with that and being real about it with ourselves and saying, well, how comfortable do I really feel about that and how much am I really letting go and how much am I really holding on and how much am I really avoiding because I don't feel safe or comfortable to share that or to do that yet. It's putting me out of my comfort zone. I either don't feel worthy or I'm afraid that I'll be killed for it or I'll be condemned or I'll be judged. We've all got a lot of that going on, especially when it comes to channeling messages and being seen as a light worker or seen as a person who does this stuff that comes through higher vibrations and higher spiritual plane and things like that. So there's a lot of stigmatism around that. So it's about resolving that within ourselves. So can you see the power of writing and being willing to even turn up and write? How much it's challenging this chakra already for it to heal. And I can honestly say, like for myself, having, you know, written 9 books now and being a monthly writer for Holistic Bliss for the last close to 2 years, where I haven't held back and I haven't pulled back and I haven't tried to conform. I've just always, what I say, my articles have always been written in under around 5 minutes and they've just flew in from the cosmos and I've just called, you know, the editor up and gone, oh, this one just flew in, or I've just flipped it away, and I've never had one come back, and I've never had one rejected, and I've never had one edited. So, what is that? You know what I mean? It's not like we'll never have stuff edited, but it's just, you know, whatever the transaction has been, when it got to here in my solar plexus, I was in complete surrender, you know? So I feel like there is a question we need to ask ourselves around, but it's okay wherever we are at. Can I just say that ahead of time? We don't need to be in the perfect place of peace around feeling comfortable about challenging social norms or, you know, about how unpolished our writing might look or, you know, the whole deal, right? We could go there. Like, you name it, we could probably list over 25 different things you could pick holes out with regards to writing that you could say, well, it isn't good enough, or it's not perfect, so I'll never do it, or, do you know? So this is an opportunity, solar plexus-wise, to go, it's actually not about all that. It's not about the list. It's actually about me. It's actually about me, and it's about me and how I feel, how strongly I feel to stand behind what I believe and I trust 100%, which is my connection, is coming through. So that would be the most challenging, and that's probably why Spirit left it to last. But someone did mention it earlier on around speaking your truth and putting it out there, and I said we would get to that, but that is without a doubt the biggest challenge, I believe, for all writers. Because if you've got something to say, then, and I did say this to Tony, didn't know, about the Everyday Lightworker Bible, where I'm saying everyone's a light worker, everybody's here to serve our enlightenment. So before I started writing, the level of fear I had around that was humongous, because I was thinking, I'm going to get press and people are going to ask me this, it's all going, it's all running, it's all going. So then, how is it after I wrote the book? It's fine, because the book addressed all that. Duh. Okay. And I remember saying to Tony, what would I say to them? He goes, everything in the book will answer their questions, everything in the book, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, and you're totally right, because I haven't had any fear since I've written the book. So, how does that work? I believe it's the process of turning up, being okay about standing by what you are being told to say, walking through that process till its completion, whether it's an article, whether it's a poem, whether it's a blog post, whether it's sharing in a forum, whether it's a book, whether it's a screenplay for a movie, walking through all of that and trusting that the connection and the message that's coming through will support you. The work, the body of work, will support you because you're standing by something that is real. Because to turn your back on the actual messages coming through, what do you think you're creating for yourself? I'm just putting it out there as a question, like, what are you really creating for yourself if you're not stepping into what you've been called to do? Yes, well, we all know that story, don't we? There's a lot of pain and delays and probably physical health stuff going down and migraines and a whole lot of physical, I would say physical, mental health and addiction issues. That's where I'm going to go. Being an addiction specialist for many years, I've seen it. So we'll take a moment now to really step into getting in touch with that part of ourselves, that higher part of ourselves that is really located in our solar plexus in a big way.